Let's go. What's up, Eagle? Look at that. That's sick. Let's go, birdie. Out here on the 2015 Yamaha R1. Baby girl Mika. Enjoying the ride. It's freaking gorgeous, man. And on today's episode, it's the first of Let Me Explain. And on today's ride, among the obvious dodging of bad drivers and trying to stay alive, we're going to talk about why many times it is safer to be going fast on your motorcycle. Everyone's like, speed kills. Yeah, right, dude. Your speed and acceleration, along with the smarts to know when to use it, is your biggest safety measure and your best friend on a motorcycle. There ain't nothing wrong with a little acceleration. So let me explain.
But tonight, a News 6 investigation into a biker troopers say is putting you and your family in danger.
He's posting videos of it on YouTube.
That was awesome.
His antics have turned him into an internet celebrity.
RPS?
Yeah, baby!
It's not funny.
More than 100,000 subscribers. RPSTV.
Holy shit. So welcome to episode 1 of a new series that we'll be putting out once a month on our Friday rotation called Let Me Explain. And I'm going to dig back in and find some examples for you in past edits as well as point out any that we may run into here. In response to the billions of comments I get on a daily basis all over every social media platform, constantly trying to pin me as a bad driver and point out that I am being too aggressive and that my riding is so dangerous and that I am somehow putting everyone else at risk. We're gonna dive into the details. Whoa, what's up, birdie? We're gonna jump into exactly when and why it is safer to go fast on your motorcycle, contrary to ignorant belief. As a disclaimer, I'm not saying that I'm always doing the safest things. First of all, it is inherently dangerous to be riding on a motorcycle in the first place. But there's a big difference between cars and motorcycles. There are pros and cons, strengths and weaknesses. They're designed for entirely different things, and they have different areas of expertise in which one will have an advantage over the other. Speed probably being the most obvious one to come to mind. I also always hear a lot in the comments from riders or drivers with their nose stuck up their own butts that, oh, if you were good enough, you would stop in time on your motorcycle, this and that. Hilarious. What these comments are failing to take into account in these scenarios is that, yeah, in times of preparation or like serious amounts of readiness, you can achieve those types of feats, right? But for a car, you just slam the brakes. You're not going to fall over. You're not going to lose control the same way you will on a motorcycle if you try to slam the brakes. It's very easy to take your wheels out of alignment when you slam the brakes and you're unprepared and you go too hard on the brakes or you grab too much in the front because you're panicked or the moment caught you unaware. There's a lot of tech in motorcycles, ABS, things like that, but that doesn't guarantee you're not going to go down. That doesn't guarantee that you're going to stop in time either, or that you have the skill to pull it off. It takes a lot of practice time and dedication to be good enough on your brakes to really pull off the maximum fastest stopping speed on a motorcycle without losing control of it or going down. It doesn't take that kind of work in a car. You just kind of press the brakes and you slow down. So that's where motorcycle against a car in a situation can be so much weaker. But a motorcycle has strengths where it's agile, it's super fast, and it's designed to go forward fast. So in a position where I'm right next to a car and they're pulling over on top of me, I can either slow down fast, which puts me at risk of being hit from behind, losing control, and having to exercise a lot of talent and skill to pull off quickly, or I can do the easier thing that my bike is designed to do and is better at than the car next to me, which is nail the gas and be out of the way and still be on my wheels, not risking losing control in the same way as slamming my brakes might. But it's as simple as that, and it takes time and experience on a motorcycle over long periods of time, running into all sorts of different experiences and situations to really understand when and where to use which skills that you have at your disposal and knowing your limits, you may or may not be able to actually exercise those skills as well. It's much easier to go forward fast than it is to stop really fast. And there's a lot more factors and risks involved in stopping fast than there might be in going forward fast, depending on the situation. Let's go check out this dude's bike, see what he's rocking with. Nice, looks like a R6. Clean, dude. Clean, I like it. It's got the full suit on too. Chinese head to toe. Looking good, dude. Anyway, so there's just one of the many situations you might want to exercise using your speed and agility to your advantage to avoid a bad situation, like a car who's not seeing you pulling over on top of you. I mean, the very last thing you would ever want is to lose control because you panicked, hit your brakes too hard, grabbed too much of your front, flipped over the front, lost your tail, slid out the back, fell off your bike, got ran over from behind, got hit from behind. These are all possibilities if things go wrong when you're trying to brake too fast to avoid a bad driver running you over. And most of those things are much less likely if you left yourself room in front of you to escape and you choose to accelerate out of the situation. Ooh, look at that. Somebody went through a wall. Another situation in which going faster is better and might even be considered safer. Later, homie. She is quick. Another prime example of a time where speeding or going fast might be a better option than going slow, might be considered safer, is on the interstate or in traffic in general when you don't have a lot of intersections coming up. As long as you're not worried about cross traffic and having to be able to stop if they don't see you and pull out in front of you, you should always be looking out for that and positioning yourself in ways to be ready to avoid it and have escapes if it does happen as much as you can. Though sometimes it's just unavoidable. So the slower the better in a situation where you do end up going down, you know what I'm saying? But on an interstate where you don't have cross sections to worry about, being able to move faster than the flow of traffic by getting away from and around cars is way better than sitting behind cars that might slam their brakes, sitting next to cars, in blind spots, or anywhere near cars, really, where they can cause an accident for you. Because the thing is, an accident in a car or a time when a car might have to slam its brakes and you can't see past the car to see that hazard coming can be insanely dangerous for you. All they have to do is be in front of you, you not see something fly into the road, them slam their brakes a little bit, and then you have to slam your brakes. And if you're not ready for that in that moment, holy crap. That dude didn't yield. I mean, I didn't yield to that other car because I sped up to get out away in front of her. To be honest, I thought the car that I got in front of was pulling off, and as soon as I saw that they weren't and I was already committed to moving forward, it was too late for me to slam my brakes, so I used to my advantage my speed and gassed out in front of her so that I didn't affect her. I didn't slow her down or get in her way, and I got out of the way as quickly as possible. Then the guy on the other side did what I did, which was pulled out in front of me. But since he's a car, he can slam his brakes and stop. He has a yield sign, and he should have looked left and saw me and also yielded the same that maybe I should have. But like I said, there you go. I was watching it and seeing it and ready to back off if he wasn't gonna yield to me, but you know, he used his brakes and got out of my way, and I continued and used my acceleration to get out of the way even faster to do my best to not inconvenience everyone. Easy peasy, boys. Kind of lost my train of thought. Oh, but yes. So slamming my brakes on the interstate, bad idea. You know, you're going really fast. You don't want to be grabbing a fistful of brakes and then going down, going 70 miles an hour because you didn't see a hazard in front of you that a car yanked out in front of, or slammed their brakes or pulled over on top of you, etc. So using your speed to get around and out of traffic as fast as possible is usually the best way to do it. Get ahead of the traffic and out of the traffic entirely so that you don't have to worry about it and deal with it, so that you have the most visibility in front of you and around you without the risk of having to deal with added hazards like the decisions cars might be making without seeing you. A prime example of that is in a really old video of mine. I wasn't even wearing gear, wearing a tank top, driving up to Jacksonville going like 100 miles an hour. I'm in the far left lane, and all of a sudden cars yanked out of the way, and luckily I had seen cars hitting their brakes ahead of me, and so I was paying a little bit of attention to that And so I started slowing down and letting off the gas as it was. And when the car in front of me pulled out of the way, there was a whole ladder in the road, sitting across the road, filling up most of the lane. If I hit that going 100 miles an hour on my motorcycle, you bet that would likely be a real problem. There's a good chance I'd lose a tire or both, or just control in general. And you're talking me going down at like 100 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour, whatever it was by the time I slammed my brakes, without any gear on too, like an idiot I was back then. Dude, that's some serious hospital time. That's talking pretty lucky if I get out of that one, you know, without any seriously life-threatening injuries. So, you know, had I been in a lane where I could see everything in front of me, that wouldn't necessarily have been as much of a problem. Or if I had been past that traffic, I would have probably seen that long before it came up on me as well, and wouldn't have had to rely on those cars and their positionings to know what was going on. Another thing is, I'm sitting next to this bus. It's a long vehicle right there. There's a lot of blind spot for him. If I'm gonna be passing a vehicle, a truck, a car, anything, there's no reason for me to pass that vehicle slowly. I'm not trying to spend any time next to a car, next to a truck, next to a bus, next to a semi. They can't see me very well. And the longer I'm next to them, the more likely they have time and chance to run me over, you know? There's no reason for me to trust that the person is going to check next to them or use their signals or even pull over slowly. A lot of people will just yank, or maybe they miss their turn and they're like, oh, there's my exit, and they just yank right, and I'm happen to be next to them because I've cruising real slow and casually next to them as I pass them. Terrible idea. If I gotta get past this truck, I'm gonna do it quick. So I'm like, okay, here we go. I'm cruising. I make sure there's nothing ahead of me pulling off into this lane or whatever, and I'm gonna get past him. Cool, I'll do it fast. Here we go. Now I'm past him. He's no longer a threat. I'm no longer in dangerous positions next to him. And I just used my speed to my advantage. Didn't put anybody else at risk. Nobody's in danger. I just made it safer for me and avoided the possibility of him running me over. Easy peasy. And now I'm here with all this space before that car, all this space behind me before that truck, to myself. And I get to float right here and be nice and easy and enjoy my ride, with the risk of getting hurt being so much smaller than had I taken the time to cruise by him, right? And the other thing is, you should always be doing that. So that is why you see me accelerate in my videos. And I don't clip together these boring parts looking at some trees by myself. You know what I mean? You guys are getting the action. So of course you're seeing my acceleration. So of course you have all these ignorant nerds in the comments being like, oh, talk about bad drivers, you're the worst one. Speeding around. Like, what are you guys, all 90? Absolutely clueless. It's so funny. So yeah, every single time I'm passing somebody, I'm doing my best to stay past them and away from them. And I'm not gonna, like, so right here, if there's a car in the left lane and two cars in front of me, so there's nowhere to go, I'm not gonna pull up next to that car, because then I have no escape ahead of me, and I don't want to slam my brakes to go backwards. So what I'll do is I'll hang back just a little bit and wait till one of those cars moves up so I can get past them, and then I'll go. And I'll go right past them nice and quick. The longer I stay in these blind spots, the worse. And look at that. I got to have a little fun on my acceleration, and I'm past all the blind spots, easy peasy. One of the things is, when you're doing that, you just gotta look ahead and make sure that these intersections coming up don't have a car waiting at it that might be pulling right in front of you. You wanna be able to be on your brakes, so you gotta choose your times when you're gonna be passing cars and stuff. I can cruise, just chill past this car. He's probably not pulled over, we're good, you know, not a big deal here. You don't have to do it every time. But to say that I'm being dangerous by hitting my acceleration when I pass cars, or especially when I'm being pulled over on, etc., or to get past vehicles in general and out of traffic, people are ignorant. They don't ride, they don't know. Use your strengths, not your weaknesses. Put yourself in the best possible situations, not the worst, you know? There's multiple ways you can avoid things, but some ways are a lot easier than others. That person had her signal on, she was trying to get over. Easy, yank the gas out of the way later. And it happens all day. I've been talking straight for like the last 2 minutes, and I've already had 3 or 4 prime examples of why me going fast is way better than having to slam my brakes, or me sitting here at the exact speed limit right next to cars and in traffic like an idiot. I don't care what the law says. I'm not doing something that's gonna get me killed because the law told me. That's stupidity, dude. I'd rather take a ticket for speeding or lane splitting, then end up smashed from behind because I sat in traffic, or losing my bike out from under me because I slammed my brakes because I was afraid to go over the speed limit to avoid somebody running me over. And I hope none of you are that stupid either. My man. That's an old school motorcycle, classics. See, as it is right here, I'm like kind of stuck. I'm right next to this big old van who probably can't see me. This guy's trying to yank over, so I'm gonna slow down and let him over if he wants to. No, he's good. But I'm not gonna chill next to him. I'm not gonna pull all the way up there. And if I do get next to him, I'm gonna yank out of there and get out of his way. But now he's got a car in front of him, so there's nowhere to go, no reason to be next to him, you know? A lot of positioning and just being aware of your surroundings will help you a lot. I mean, somebody hitting their brakes in a lane to your right in front of another car, that car almost every time is gonna try to get over. And most of the time they're gonna do it super impatiently, not use their signal, or they're gonna use it as they yank over. They yank over quickly because they don't wanna slow down. So the second I see that, somebody hitting their brakes in the car right there, I'm expecting it. And if I have to be next to him, I'm getting past him, you know? Easy. Not sitting in a situation where it's more likely that I'm just gonna get yanked into. Lubed up the chain before we left. Gotta make sure baby girl's good to go, you know? Keep her lubed up, feeling good. Now obviously, I don't mean that going fast all the time is the answer. It's definitely not full send and pin the throttle all the time and be zooming around. You're definitely gonna get yourself killed that way. Smooth and steady wins you the race. Smooth and steady is probably the best way to go most times. But there ain't nothing wrong with a little acceleration. And there are many, many, many times where accelerating out of a situation is the best strategy. Oftentimes it is the safest, smartest way to take a situation and remove yourself from the danger. Keep your eyes up and ahead on all the potential hazards and what's going on around you. That way you know when you can use that as your exit strategy, instead of having to risk going down, slamming your brakes, or getting hit from behind. Easy freaking peasy, my dudes. Right here, I'm gonna place myself between these two cars because they're already stopped. And I don't have to run the risk of anybody behind me hitting me from back there. Exactly why lane splitting should also be legal. Now I'm gonna remove myself from the traffic. Adios, muchachos. Everyone's like, speed kills. Yeah, right, dude. Your speed and acceleration, along with the smarts to know when to use it, is your biggest safety measure and your best friend on a motorcycle. Obviously, it's so much fun. It's the best part. That's why we have them. It's the biggest strength. It's what keeps us out of trouble, but it's also what can get us into it. So don't be stupid. Use your head. But now, maybe if you didn't before, or you're one of those people in the comments saying stupid stuff all the time who don't know what they're talking about, hopefully this shed a little light on the subject of why I do the things I do and why I use speed and acceleration as a strength to my advantage while on the motorcycle to avoid the dangers of the road, known as bad drivers and road hazards. I'm pretty sure that's an unopened bag of cheesy ruffles up there and a cop behind on the right there. Let's hit it. Let's see what's up. Ran it over. The Orlando police. Pull past him so he doesn't yank over when that car brakes. I don't know if he's looking or not. Don't care if he's police or not, my dude. I guess it's a she. OPD online over here. Coronavirus updates. They got all sorts of weird stuff going on in there. She's zooming on that thing. She's knowing all the freaking shortcuts. I want to talk to her, but I think our light's about to turn green, and she is not paying any attention to me. So anyway, hopefully that enlightened any of the nerds in the comments who didn't quite get it, or any of the homies who just didn't understand why I may ride the way I do sometimes, or how I do. I've been riding motorcycles for over 10 years now, and for 8 of those, I didn't even have a car. I had to ride every single day through every single type of scenario, weather, time of day, hot or cold, rain or shine, and I've experienced pretty much everything you can on a motorcycle at this point. I've been down. I know what it feels like. It sucks. I wear lots of gear now. I'm booted and suited, and I understand the choices I'm making and why I'm making them. So hopefully this segment of Let Me Explain has helped you understand when and why it is safer to go fast on a motorcycle. Thanks for hanging out all the way to the end, guys. If you like this video and you appreciate these Let Me Explains and it helps you out at all, if you disagree with me or you have something else to say on the subject, hit me in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you've had a scenario where speed has helped you out of a situation, tell me about it in the comments. Let me know what's up. Thank you guys for hanging out, watching the video, supporting the channel. I love you, dudes. I will catch you in the next vlog every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the channel at 3 p.m. My dude. Gotta be ready. Appreciate you guys. I'll catch you in the next vlog. Deuces. Homegirl was staring. I caught you, Myron girl. I caught you. Try to look away, act like nothing happened. You done got caught, girl. Later.
Hard for the course.
Oh my God.
Tonight, a new 6 investigation into a biker trooper say is putting you and your family in danger.
Ooh, go. That was awesome.
His antics have turned him into an internet celebrity.
RPS? Yeah, baby.
It's not funny.
More than 100,000 subscribers.
Nyrell.